views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey everyone, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you're watching Open. Welcome to BXRX. Coming up on today's show, we'll hear from a multi-passion coach who is doing her part to inspire others to manifest their self-growth journeys. Then we'll hear from an artist about how she plans on channeling the essence of a legendary performer in an upcoming production. After that, we'll speak to an old friend of the show who is taking on a new challenge and ready to defy the odds. Plus, Bobby C. He steps into the room with the latest in the world of sports. And then finally, we'll check in with a CEO of an organization that continues to expand its reach outside of the Bronx, and we'll highlight his upcoming events. All of this and more is headed your way. We've got it all for you right here on Open. Welcome. Hey, everyone. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. We've got you covered like a blanket. That's how we do. We do it like we always used to do. So stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, leading things off, we're joined by a multi-passion self-growth leader who is the founder of SelfGrowth Goddess and Warriors Evolve. And she's with us today to speak about her passion for helping others get what they need out of life, helping others manifest their best selves, and to highlight the upcoming Warriors Evolve Self-Growth Camp. So please welcome to the show, Kim Rojas. Kim, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Kim, nobody knows more than you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to create Warriors Self-Growth Goddess and Warriors Evolve.
Okay, well, a little bit about myself. So my name is Kimberly Rojas, aka Kim, the Self-Growth Goddess, the creator of Self-Growth Goddess Creations and Warriors Evolve. I am very multi-passionate, and that's one thing I've been seeing every single day in my life. And one thing about me is I walk in faith and not by sight. I am someone that believes that anything is possible. If other people can do it, why can't we do it? I know that it's just, we have to put in the work and the effort to make it happen. So, I am, and that honestly, walking in my journey, embracing my journey inspired me to create Self-Growth Goddess. I called myself Self-Growth Goddess because I'm growing every day. I'm healing every day. I'm evolving. I'm learning something new about myself and something new in this world. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be Self-Growth Goddess, and I'm going to be inspiring the community to explore self-love, self-care through creating jewelry. I create beaded bracelets and I create bracelets. I don't have my necklace on, but I create necklaces. And when I started creating that, it started making me feel good. And it all started when I started creating with the youth. Was I was sitting at the Coffee Bay restaurant one day. I went to meet up with Broken Limits, and this was my first time creating in a restaurant and or out in public. And when I was creating, two little girls come to me and was like, "Can I sit with you? Can I create with you? I would like to make a bracelet." And hearing that,
we've got something here. Hold on.
I was like, "Oh my God!" Like I started smiling because this is something that I wanted to put out there. This is something that I feel like these kids need to learn about, finding a hobby, doing something that makes them feel good, and just watching them focus, putting the beads on the string. It helped. It made me want more, and I just kept going. It honestly started with just sitting at public spaces, and then the kids, the community sees me, they support my business, and then they also want to join and create a bracelet, and I can't say no. So
you can't say no. Especially the
I've been
smile
doing
faces
it.
of these little kids. What? You can't say no.
It just reminded me when I was 11, when I was 10, when I was, so it's me doing something positive like this, and then hearing parents come to me saying, oh my God, like, thank you so much. Like, you don't understand. I've been trying to help her find something that she'll enjoy doing. And the fact that you got her now wanting to make bracelets, it's a life changer. And that, honestly, that is one of my biggest why I do this and why I started doing the events. My first big event was in March. It was self-love. It was SelfGrowth Goddess and Warriors Evolve. Warriors Evolve. I named it Warriors Evolve after, I don't know if you guys read the book Warriors, not Warriors, Woman Evolve from Sarah Jake Roberts. I started reading that book, and when I was reading that book, I started getting inspiration. My mind started like, oh my God. And as I was reading, I was attracting warriors. I was attracting the tribe. I was attracting people that wants to grow with me, that wants to, be a part of the events, that wants to be a part of my journey. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So the fact that every time I would sit here with people and listen to their stories, I would be like, yo, we're some warriors out here making it happen. We're evolving, we're growing, we're nurturing each other, and we're helping each other heal. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna be, it was first Warriors Evolvement. I just changed it to Warriors Evolve. But I'm like, we are Warriors evolving together. We are, they've been with me, they and the people that I'm also, the new people that I'm attracting, but like we've been together ever since we introduced each other. And hearing other warriors, other people tell me, thank you, Kimberly, for doing this, because you're actually helping me pursue in my, helping me find my passion, helping me give myself a chance. And that's my goal. That's my mission. That's the mission of Warriors Evolve. I want to help people.
How did you start the camp?
How did I start the camp? It all started with one conversation. I had a conversation with, I believe it was Teaching Brainiacs. Yes, Teaching Brainiacs. She wanted to do, I was saying, I want to do something for the community before this summer is over. And it all started with me saying it. And then I went to planning it. And then I went to attracting the tribe that wants to make this happen. And now it's happening and it's unfolding. And it's just like, wow. Like, it literally, this was planned no longer than like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And
how can people get involved in your camp?
So you can either email me, you can send me a DM, or you can go on Eventbrite, because I do have the camp on the Eventbrite. It is free for the community. Also, if you would like to participate and, sharing your art, sharing your creations, it is, you're able to do so. I'm just asking for donations. I'm asking for donations, like school supplies donations, to give back to the community, to give back to the students. Where do we send
donations to?
We will be accepting donations at the Bronx Collab Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6 p.m. And if people can't donate supplies, we will also be accepting cash or like Zelle and payments.
But when is the camp starting? The
camp starts August 6th, August 7th. It's going to be every weekend in August.
Saturdays,
August 6th. And Sundays.
Yeah. Beautiful.
From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And do we follow you? Do you have the website where we can go?
So you can find me on Instagram. You can find us on Warriors Evolve, and you can find us on SelfGrowth Goddess as well. And when you click on the link in my bio, you'll see my Instagram pages. You'll see the first tab will be click here to book your free self-growth camp tickets. And then if you would like to become a vendor, you can still RSVP for the date in the park, and then just click on add on, become a vendor. And then as soon as you register, I'll be sending you an email. We will be I have weekly Zoom calls with all the vendors that will be participating in the self-growth camp. And these calls are literally like for us to be focused and in our mission, in our growth, and also show up for our business. Because I'm someone that I want everybody, the community that's working, that's growing with me, I want us to know what's going on. I want us to all be in the same loop. So I feel like doing like little Zoom calls, especially until the event happens, can be a very good way to help us focus and help us be ready. Because I'm gonna try, this is not only my first time, but everybody else's first time doing something like this. So I just want this to be perfect. Yes.
Thank you so much. I know you're getting loose right now. You're ready to go, yes. But we need more time for you. So you're always welcome to come back, okay? Yes. Thank you so much, Kimberly Rojas.
Thank you.
The founder, Self-Growth Goddess, and Warriors Evolve. We appreciate you and we love you. And we'll see you next time, okay?
Thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome. All right, we'll take a break right here. More open coming up next.
TV news, radio reports, and newspaper headlines in the 1970s and 80s misrepresented communities in the borough of the Bronx. Then, something transformative happened. By, for, and about the Bronx, BronxNet was born.
We are BronxNet!
BronxNet provides media education,
opening the doors to competitive careers in the media industry
for thousands of students in middle school,
high school,
and college. BronxNet.
Welcome back. I'm the Doc Bob Lee, and we're here with an artist, a performer, singer. She's a vocal coach and producer whose latest productions, she pays homage to the late, great Dorothy Dandridge. And she joins us today to share some behind-the-scenes information on her upcoming production, Dorothy Dandridge Musical, and much more. So please welcome to the show, Nikenji. She's also a Hal Jackson Talented Teens International contestant. Nikenji, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be at the helm of such an iconic story like Dorothy Dandridge.
Yeah.
And we are doing a special presentation of Dorothy Dandridge The Musical at Carnegie Hall, right here in New York City, Sunday night and Monday night, 7:30 p.m. And we are just really, really excited. It's an original score. We have Emmy winner, book and lyricist Trey Ellis at the helm of this project, along with Shelton Becton, who is doing the music and lyrics, and our very own Tony winner, Tamara Tooney, who is directing the show. And we have Everett Bradley as the arranger. And so we are so elated with this amazing team telling the story of this icon, which is Dorothy Dandridge, a story that I feel is almost an unsung hero because not everybody knows about her, at least the younger generation.
Yeah.
It's really, really important that we bring these stories to the forefront for stage and making sure that they are not forgotten.
Dorothy Dandridge, she's in this book, People to Know, Black History and Beyond. She's on page 343. So people can find out more about her. But let's find out more about you. You know, you've been in this business for a little while. You with the Hal Jackson Talented Teens International Contest. And you were in New York, and then you went to Hollywood, and it was wonderful because that could have been the start of your career. Is that so, or you did something before that?
No, winning Hal Jackson Talented Teen was my very first competition as a singer. At the time, I was just getting exposed to opera music, and I was being trained. Yes, and Miss Yvonne Hatchett was my teacher from Harlem School of the Arts, and
Uh-huh.
I went to Harlem School of the Arts to learn how to sing my Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey songs better. And next thing you know, I was learning Italian songs and
Whoa.
chansons and German
Yeah.
lieder. And my teacher saw the potential for opera. And Hal Jackson Talented Teens was the very first competition that I actually sang an opera piece, which was from Scott Joplin's opera Tremonisha, and I sang a real slow drag, and I had a little dance routine going with it. And I was the first.
All right, a little quickie. How did that sound back then? I know it sounds a little better now.
Well, it was the Salut Chopin do the drag.
Yeah.
Drag, stop and look backward to the drag. All of you, stop.
Look at that vocal range. Beautiful. Look at that. There you go.
I haven't sung that song in so many years, but I love Scott Joplin. I love Tremonisha, and I love the fact that that song was my introduction to opera. And being able to be the first opera singer to win the New York State title for Hal Jackson was a very big accomplishment for a little 14-year-old girl from Bronx.
I know, he's up in heaven. He heard that voice and he looked down and said, "Oh, this is my girl."
He said, "Nick, there you are."
Yeah. So what inspired you to produce Dorothy Dandridge?
Well,
the musical.
Many things. As a little girl, being 10 years old and being exposed to music in a different level, because I loved music, I appreciated it, but I didn't know that I actually had a talent to sing music until my 5th grade teacher at PS 95 heard me singing. And she gave me my first role as Patty in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And my mom and my dad had divorced at that time. She was raising me as a single mom, and we couldn't afford to go to the theater. We couldn't afford to go see symphony shows or, operas or musical theater or any type of concert. But when I would look through the magazines and the newspapers about shows that were happening, I did not see any representation of myself. And as a 10-year-old who is in Bronx, New York, wanting to see something that would inspire me, I didn't see it on stage. And as I continued getting older and being trained in this music, I went to Juilliard and Manhattan School of Music, and I began not only performing in shows, I was crossing over from doing musical theater and opera and jazz and creating my own shows. Like, I was really at the forefront of wanting to create in the very beginning because I saw that there was a void. And Dorothy Dandridge is an icon that I know not everybody knows about. People in Hollywood know about her, people in older generations. The young kids do not know who Dorothy Dandridge is. And as a 10-year-old, I would have wanted to know who Dorothy Dandridge was. And so it's important to me to make sure that we are putting these stories at the forefront. I also wanted to have a musical that did not fit in a box. I wanted to make sure that I had...
That's the one.
Yes, I wanted to make sure I had a team that would be as authentic as possible for each of these characters. So musically, we have an original score that ranges from opera to pop to soul to gospel to jazz to musical theater, and being authentic to these characters, because Dorothy Dandridge would sing a Duke Ellington or Gershwin tune when she was headlining the Waldorf Astoria as the very first African-American artist to do that. But she wasn't singing Duke Ellington songs if she was communicating with her mom and her sister back at home. Right?
Yeah. Tell us about her star power, because a lot of people don't know about Dorothy Dandridge's star power, and
yes.
how you're going to be bringing that to life.
Yes, she was the first African-American woman to be nominated for an Oscar in the Outstanding Leading Actress category. And that was just unknown in the 50s. Otto Preminger cast her as Carmen Jones. It was a star-turning role for her, opposite of our amazing Harry Belafonte. You had Pearl Bailey in that movie. I mean, you had the icons in that movie. It was an all-Black cast, and they were doing something that was absolutely not done before. That is what turned her into this overnight success. And after that, she did Porgy and Bess. But there was many years in between these accomplishments that she had to go to Europe to do movies because she was a leading actress. And Hollywood just wasn't creating that content to have a woman like Dorothy Dandridge soar, right? So she had to go across the pond to do a lot of movies because it was, at that time, it was illegal to have interracial kissing on screen. And she was also she would sing at these clubs, the Waldorf Astoria, the Bahamas. She would perform. She had a band, and so she was so versatile when it came to being an actress on screen, as well as being a around like triple threat on stage with a band, and Bill Moore being her arranger.
And you're gonna reproduce. You're gonna do that. You're gonna produce it. You're gonna do the triple threat thing. You're gonna dance the thing. And
we have dancing. We have acting.
Oh, we gotta come and check you out. We gotta come and check you out.
Yes,
So
and
what can fans expect? Give us a quick something.
Well, here's the thing. With Dorothy, not only did I want to focus on her star power, but I also wanted to focus on her activism. She was a big supporter of Dr. King in the civil rights movement.
That's right.
I didn't really know about that. She also was a single mom. Like, her whole story is so very empowering because when her and Harold Nicholas, who was, the half of the famous Nicholas brothers, had separated, she was there taking care of her daughter who needed 24-hour care. So this story is not just about the star power and her being a Hollywood actress, but for her being a single mom, her being an activist, the human experience that we all can relate to.
Beautiful. So you're creating the awareness about this wonderful person, Dorothy Dandridge.
Yes, absolutely. And
what better person to recreate that than you and your production?
Yes, I'm a mom as well. So like her story really hits hard to me, as well as her story hitting hard to my mother, who was a single mom raising me. Yeah. So it's very important for that. I also collaborated with a not-for-profit organization for African Americans in the performing arts, because it's very important that we collaborate as we like to call it. It takes a village to raise a child. And this musical, I consider a child that we are giving birth to and we are raising, because there's so many different levels of development before you get to that shiny Broadway stage. And Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts has now collaborated with us so that when someone goes to DorothyDandridgeMusical.com, they can actually make a tax-deductible donation that will go towards the development of this story coming. And
is that the website that we go to find out more?
It is DorothyDandridgeMusical.com. And there you can get the tickets for Carnegie Hall Sunday night and Monday night. And there you can make tax-deductible donations. No amount is too small to help support this story and put it to the forefront, so that it's not, this is a story that needs to be told by all walks of life, all ages. We're here in New York City, the melting pot of the world, and we need to know who Dorothy Dandridge is.
And we thank you so much. Singer, producer, creator, songwriter. And she's got it together. We got to get there and sit in those seats and check it out.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We're actually here at Park Central Hotel, right across the street from Carnegie Hall, doing rehearsals for the show. So we're really excited. We have an amazing Broadway cast and TV cast that is going to bring this story to life.
Mackenzie, thank you so much. And you're always welcome back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll take a quick break. Got a whole lot more coming up right here on Open.
For you,
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at BronxNet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
Welcome back, everybody, up to Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. And our next guest is no stranger to the show. She is the founder of Yo Digo No Mas, the CEO of Forme Medical Center and Urgent Care. She's here with us today to speak about how she's taken an entirely new challenge and reflects on what led her to this decision. So please welcome to the show, Maria Trusa.
Hey,
Maria,
Bob, thank you so much for having me here. You're like family to me now. I've been here and you guys are promoting our mission, so I appreciate you.
You know, you never cease to amaze us with the many things, the wonderful things that you're doing. And of course, you have a history, you've been through a lot, and now you're out helping others. And that's important, helping to soothe our community, so to speak. But you're into a whole nother thing. So tell us about it. I'll let you kick it off.
You know, Bob, I've decided at some point that I really wanted to explore limitations in my life, that how do I get into the business of crushing limits? And in 2019, I remember setting up goals with my son. And at the beginning, he says to me, Mom, what are you going to do this year that is going to take you to another level, like something that you feel that you need to do and that you've been afraid to do? So your
son knows that. Your son knows that you're not going to just stay at a certain level. You're going to move on to, Mom, what's next?
He pushes me. We push each other. We're like really best friend. And I said, well, you know, I'm going to go back to doing ballroom dancing because I haven't done ballroom dancing for a long time. And he's like, no, you've done that before. And then he says to me, how about a marathon? I mean, you've never run before. And you've talked about that this is something that it's on your bucket list. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I committed. And then we started now preparing for the marathon. So 2 weeks later, he says to me, you now register. So I registered for the marathon.
You're not just talking about a 5K or a 10K. You're talking about the New York City Marathon, 26 miles. New
York City Marathon, 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
It's, Bob, I ran 300 miles before I did the New York City Marathon. It was the most incredible experience. And one of the things that this made me realize that this is something that you can take. It actually affects the 5 pillars of your life. The way that I see the pillars are your body and soul, your family, your spiritual relationship, your finances, and your joy. And if you think about it, all of these, when you're crushing those limits, it actually affects each of your pillars in a positive way, because you're reinforcing life. When you say you're going to do something that you are afraid of, and you confront your fears. There is
go Maria. Yes.
As I was training Bob yesterday, I listened to a Pitbull has a song. He says, do you know what spreads faster than a virus? Fear. And I'm like, he is so freaking right. He is so right. So then I took on, I did the New York City Marathon. I crushed it. I was so happy with my time. And I wasn't even doing it for time. I wanted to show up. So then I decided that I was going to do a body fitness competition because I've always wanted to do that. And I started training for that. But then the pandemic came. So nothing happened in 2020. In 2021, I decided I was going to do a relay Ironman. And Ironman, for those of you that don't know, it's one of the most difficult races that you could take. It's a triathlon so the way it goes, Bob, is 1.2 miles of swimming, Then you get on a cycling bike for 56 miles, and then you run 13 miles. So last year, I joined my children. One of my boys did the swimming, and then he gave me the bracelet. And then I went and did 56 miles on a cycling bike, which I've never done before. It was a lot of work to train for it. I started training in February, and the race was in September. So all of those months of training, I fell so many times, but I would get up. I would fail and get up. I have bruises everywhere. So I did that, and the rush was incredible when I was there. And that day, I said to my son, when I finished, I said to my kids, I am doing the full thing next year. I've never swum before. And Bob, people say, I'm Dominican, so they think because you come from an island that you're a swimmer. Not me. I don't know if you swim. Do you swim?
I swim, but not that many miles. I can swim back and forth.
Yeah,
Olympics.
So if you make the commitment, you could do it. And that's what I'm showing, that it's really about making the commitment. And when you do that, and that's why I was saying to you that the 5 pillars of your life get affected, because if you make a commitment like that in your body and soul, because they're connected, then it affects the commitments that you're making in the other pillars. And I see it. When I started, when I made that decision, let me tell you, I was very afraid, because I've never swum in my life. I call it a doggy dance, but swimming, no. So I made the commitment, and then I started training in January. I started taking lessons, learning how to do freestyle. It's been tough, but I can tell you that I am swimming open water already. Last night I was swimming at a lake with my wetsuit, and I was telling my coach, I said, I could see myself in that river. I will be in September 25th doing a 70.3. So I will be going for 70.3 miles. It would be hours. Ooh. Probably, I'm saying to myself 7 hours, but I'm going to be swimming 1.2 miles. I'm getting off the river. I get on the bike, do 56 miles, and then I go to the finish line, 13 miles, which is half a marathon. And I could already see my kids and my family waiting for me there. Yeah. It's an incredible commitment.
Well, we got to see if we can get that videotaped or filmed. Where's the finish line?
It's going to be in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I chose that one because I'll be swimming in a river. So as a new swimmer, it is the best swim, the best Iron Man to do because if I'm swimming in the ocean, I mean, some of them are ridiculous. So I chose that one, but don't worry, my team is coming. We're going to be filming everything, because the idea is, as you know, I am a woman that wants to live a limitless life. I do it with my business. I'm a woman with a mission to impact millions of people. And if I can show people that, look, I'm doing this for me. And that's the biggest thing that I want people to take. I remember when I did last year, the Iron Man with my children, my son was asked by one of my team members, what is the thing that your mom inspired you the most? And he said, my mom gives a lot to everyone.
Yes.
My mom knows how to give a lot to herself. Yeah. And when she does this, it's for her. And this is for me. I share with you, Bob, that I've gone through the hardest time in my life this year. I have had some serious family issues. And I can tell you that this commitment has kept me sane.
Yeah,
I show up.
Not only that, Maria, what you've come through in the beginning, our conversations early on when we first started talking, what you've come through, what it was like back then compared to what it is like now. Yeah. You've come through a lot. You've endured so much pain, but you have a lot of love riding with you, with the family and the wonderful things that you're accomplishing now. I think that's special.
Thank you. Bob, the resilience, if we can take that pain into a catalyst to change, the resilience that we have already, people like us, as some of you that don't know me, I have a movement where I bring awareness to what I call the silent pandemic of sexual abuse of our Latino children. And it's not just a Latino problem, it is a worldwide problem. But I was sexually abused at the age of 9, and it was by my father who gave me to a man to do this. And I talked about in this mission, but when I think of the resilience that it took for me to be able to heal, to go in the healing journey, that same resilience can get you to do the things that you are afraid of, but you have to jump. You have to first commit and just jump, get uncomfortable. Because when you're not uncomfortable, and this is something that people say a lot, but it is the truth. Bob, if you are comfortable, I say, you're not growing. If you want to live a limitless life, you have to get very uncomfortable. That's what I do. And when I'm say it again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're going to give me a hard rep, but you need to come back again and bring some of the videotape back with you so we can share some of your wonderful experience, okay? And then
I will do that.
Before you go, give us a website where we can go and see.
mariatrusa.org, mariatrusa.org, and our website for the movement, yodigonomas.com. Please visit us.
Founder of Yo Digo No Mas.com, and she's the CEO of Fome Medical Center and Urgent Care, Maria Trusa. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you for having me again, Bob. Take care.
Take care. Bobby C, he's up next. He has the latest in the world of sports. Don't move a muscle. We've got you covered right here on Open.
Last time on the show, we got a chance to catch up with our friend Samori Benjamin of WBAI Radio as we discussed the Yankees and Mets here at the midseason point. Here's part 2 of that interview.
You get a chance to hop on a plane, go across the country to the West Coast and see the best players in baseball. What are you most excited about to see in the Midsummer Classic?
Well, look, the first thing, I've been waiting for about 5 years to go to Dodger Stadium, okay? I've never been there before. In 2017, I thought Yankees, Dodgers, World Series. I was all ready to go, all ready to cover it. I was ready to book my plane ticket to LA. The Yankees, Game 7. I remember like yesterday, Game 7 was the same night as the Knicks game. I was at the Garden watching Game 7, watching the Yankees just go down meekly, one after another at bat. They could not get a run against Houston. Lost to the Astros in 7 games, so there was no Yankees, Dodgers, World Series. The next year, 18, I thought that it could happen again. I was ready for it. It did not happen. Then I was going to go, like you said, 2020 to the All-Star game. It got canceled. So I'm definitely looking forward to finally being at Dodger Stadium. That's going to be very exciting. And I, it being in LA, Hollywood, that MLB is going to go all out to really put on a show. So that you're looking forward to. One thing, I always try and cover the Futures game, and usually it's on a Sunday. This year is on a Saturday, so I'm going to get down a little extra early to cover that on the Saturday coming up. One thing that's very interesting is that Dusty Baker, who I love, he's going to be managing the AL All-Star team. His son, Darren Baker is in the Futures games this year. He's a prospect for Washington, so looking forward to that. Hopefully I can interview him and do a story on that. So that's one thing that I definitely have targeted. But yeah, I mean, you definitely know that it being in Los Angeles is going to be just a great show. And so I'm looking forward to being in LA for a few days, and it should definitely be a special event. I do want to say, so I mentioned how I was envisioning Dodgers Yankees World Series for like 2-3 years in a row. So that's why I don't want to jinx Mets Yankees. I don't want to even allow myself to think that, because I had the Dodgers Yankees World Series in my mind for like 3 years hard. Never happened. So I don't want to
think it could happen this year, Samori. You know, I think, you know, it's funny that you say that, because on both sides of the coin here in New York, and not trying to show any bias here in the Bronx, but you know, the best team in baseball doesn't always make the World Series. We hope that the Yankees do. And the same thing in the National League. As good as the Mets have been, even if they somehow win the National League East, there are teams in the playoffs that I think could easily knock them off in their route to the World Series. And that includes some of the teams that we've mentioned, whether it's the Atlanta Braves or the LA Dodgers.
Baseball, the last 20 years, I've seen more teams who you thought would get to the championship round and get knocked off. With basketball, the favorite, the teams that you think had the best chance to go in, most of the time they make it through. Football, you don't see as many upset bids as you do in baseball in terms of who makes the World Series. But yeah, I mean, the Yankees, man, they've had so many talented teams over the years, and you know, like we said, they're pretty much in the playoffs every year. A lot of these years they've had top teams, and they get to the playoffs and they can't bust through. I'll tell you, the biggest difference between the Yankee teams of the late 90s, when they went to 5 World Series in 6 years, they won 4 World Series in 5 years. The biggest difference between them and the teams now, because I feel like the teams since then have been more talented, but the teams back then, they were more clutch. They were more clutch in the playoffs.
Excited for you, and you get a chance to see some great young players. I know the Mets and the Yankees will have some stars in that futures game, including the Yankees' top prospect, Anthony Volpe, which is pretty cool to see. Before we let you go, you know, every week here on the show, one of our new segments is pretty cool. We call it the Judge Report. And it's me kind of giving an update on where Aaron Judge is in terms of the potential milestone and being a guy that could maybe break the Yankee record, which, as you mentioned, might still actually be the MLB record for single season home runs, even though I'm a big fan of Barry Bonds and what he accomplished in his career. But we have some of the guys on that list that might have been part of, you know, that steroid era, of course. But, you know, final thoughts here. Do you think Aaron Judge breaks the record for the Yankees at least and hits more than 61 home runs, passing Babe Ruth and Roger Maris? And do you see Aaron Judge in pinstripes beyond this year? He's a free agent.
Judge is going to break it, mark it down. No, I'm playing. You know what? Okay, so I hope he does break it. If you ask me if I think he will, if I had to put money on it, I would say no, just because I feel like there's going to be more pressure as the season goes on. And he still got to hit, 31 to tie it, 32 to break it. It's definitely possible, but for him to continue to be as hot as he has, and really the last 2 weeks or so, he hasn't been as hot, you know, and I would say no, just because the chances of him breaking it are greater that he does not than he does, right? So I would say no, but I hope he does. And in terms of him coming back, Bobby, I'm gonna tell you right now, all right, Hal Steinbrenner knows this, okay? If Aaron Judge is not a Yankee next year, he will be run out of town, period, okay? He will get run out of here. So, I mean, look, Aaron Judge is, I mean, the Yankees are a team that the last 30 years, we've known that when they're the great player to be had, and if they need that player, they will go out there and get it. Excuse me. They have that player on their team right now. So why are you going to have the best player in the game and let him go? He is a great face of the franchise. He comes across like a great guy All the kids love him. The fans love him. I mean, there's no better person, better face of your franchise than Aaron Judge, okay, at all.
He's in that conversation for face of baseball, whether it's him or Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout. There's some heavy top of that, and he's in that argument.
Mike Trout is not even in the conversation to me. Aaron Judge is the face of baseball. Yes, the size, the face, the personality, and unless Aaron Judge comes out saying, I want $50 million a year for 10 straight years, unless he's doing that, there's no way the Yankees can lose him and the fan base not go crazy. So there's no way that the Yankees are going to let this guy leave. No way at all. If they do, they'll be run out of town, period.
Well, Samori, we hope that the stars align in all facets here for you with the All-Star game.
Bobby, before you go, I must say one thing, because for years, we would drive, you would give me a ride from 33rd Street, Midtown, Uptown, home, and many nights we would talk about our favorite basketball team. And Bobby, every time you would say, the Knicks, they have no chance, they suck. But Bobby, I'm here to tell you, this is the year. This is the year.
Well, Samori B, man, I think if there is a year, it could be this year, because we know that the Nets might not be as good this year after some of the news there. But we're definitely hopeful that the baseball season.
Three words. Jalen Brunson, baby.
Jalen Brunson. Samori Benjamin is excited. We're excited about the prospects of the All-Star game this year. Aaron Judge may be breaking that milestone record and perhaps seeing the Subway Series in October. Wouldn't that be something else? Samori Benjamin, 99.5 WBAI Sports Director, the voice talent there. We appreciate you taking some time. Always good to see you, my friend. Miss driving you uptown.
Definitely, Bobby. And as you say that, I think about David Lee. I love David Lee. You were like, oh, he sucks.
that was Chris's favorite, All-Star David Lee.
Yeah, definitely. But Bobby, great talking to you. Chris, great seeing your face too. And hopefully I see you guys in October in an exciting New York City baseball playoff run.
Let's book it, Samori.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from BLS, and you're watching Open. And we have another friend of the show. He's the CEO of MASC Hospitality Group and the founder of Bronx Night Market, Brooklyn Night Market, the Uptown Night Market, and he's going to go throughout the 5 boroughs, I bet you. He sits down with us today to highlight the unique aspects of this Uptown Night Market and to help us, help whet our palates to what to expect from this event. So please welcome to the show, Marco Shalma. Marco, welcome.
How you doing, Dr. Bob? How you doing? Good. I'm so glad to be over here. Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you too. A whole lot of eating going on. We got the night markets all over the place. And we started in the Bronx, and now it went to Brooklyn and Uptown. We spoke to Boza Rivers Uptown, and he was telling us all about the night market that you helped put together.
You said it right. We started at the Bronx, and we bring you that same kind of Bronx hustler mentality all across the city. And they just love it. They love what we did in the Bronx, and they love what we do. They love how we, speak to the community of our community. They love the way that it's not just like a food market with a bunch of stalls. It's a cultural event. It's a food and cultural event. When we promote and highlight local vendors, we promote and highlight local performers and artists, and it's just big celebration. Coming from the Bronx and getting that little swagger and that little kind of, and it changes the way that people see you. It's not uptight. It's welcoming. The food is more global. It's flavorful. It's more in portion. And then we get calls, we got calls from like Harlem. Hey, when's you guys gonna bring it over there? And then when the time is right. The time was right last year, we launched it, and now it's just become like the biggest phenomenon in the food scene in New York City. And then last month we opened the Brooklyn. Brooklyn people came up and said, yo, we want to have something in Brooklyn or that. And then we brought it, And I tell you something, that's my pride is my biggest pride and joy over here talking to the team. It says like I want to make sure that we get Staten Island and Long Island and Queens, and let everybody know that this group that started in the underdog of the Bronx, when nobody's kind of even counted us, now we're teaching them how to do a food and culture festival.
What can we expect with the new ones that you've started?
Well, it's kind of fun for us because we did something in the Bronx for like about 4 years before we started heading out over there. And then we started doing the Harlem one, the Uptown Market one. We learned so much new things because it's just a different setting, a different layout. And then those new things that we learned, we're bringing them back to the Bronx and we updating. So it's almost kind of like a software update, like you get a software update from Apple every couple of months, years. It's the same thing like that. And what we learned is like, we take it out a little bit back in the frequency, but go bigger in the all out. So we're talking about this year, every event has over 60 vendors. We have a bunch of giveaways. We have raffles on RSVP. Every event, every month, we raffle a big screen TV, 65, 75 inch for anybody that registers. We have food vendors that come in from all across the tri-state area to showcase what they do, whether it's like, traditional food, like Filipino and Dominican and Jamaican, or even if it's just like, those little foodie, experiments and cool things that you see on Instagram. I mean, it's just a fantastic thing. And listen, we upgraded the whole music situation, like a big stage, dope sound system. We got DJs, we got bands, we got units, we got activation in the back. We always do like some sort of like a class, whether it's a dance class, like a hip hop class or like a Zumba class. So there's activities for the entire family, the entire day. You come over there, you spend a few hours with friends, you eat outdoors in the sun. You get so much options. And the merchants, we hand select those merchants that got all this like, artisanal things and like knickknacks and original items. So it really is a dope experience. It's bigger than it ever was in scale, and that's why we have to kind of push it back a little bit and say, all right, we can't do it every week because we want to do every time something that is going to be dope AF.
Yeah, I salivate because I can just experience just from you speaking all the flavors that you're taking, and not only from the foods, but from the environment, from the music, from everything. It's like cultural. You have every culture there. You have the different vendors from all over the place. And, it's a wonderful sight to see.
Anytime, anytime you want to come, we want to show you. And I keep saying, people asking me like, hey, Marco, what's the difference between that and some other stuff? We've seen food. It's like, it's completely different because, you're talking about small vendors that have their families over there and they cooking that 1 or 2 or 3 items that they perfected for years and passed. Most of them is like recipes that they passed on from their abuela and the old people. And they do that. It's not like a restaurant when you got like somebody doing a shit. And I no disrespect for any restaurants, everybody's making money, but this is a unique experience when you get to taste like authenticity, people that sweat, to build a small business and create this dope food. And they have, they have to be good every single time that they leave the house because if not, they're not going to be selling. So it is exciting. It's exciting. And then you go and you see I think we have like out of 60 vendors, you can kind of represent at least 40 different cultures over there,
Wow.
and unique cuisine. I'm a foodie. I'm in my 40s and I've eaten all across the world. And sometimes I'm surprised by the kind of food that we're getting over there. Like I'm like, wow, I did not know that. Oh, shark sandwich. Oh, this one. So it's a really good experience, man. We really appreciate doing what we do. We are very grateful for that.
Yeah, Marco, how do you choose your vendors?
We put a thing in a basket. We raffle blindly. No, I'm joking. So the way to choose the vendors is one of the most difficult things, especially the more we grow in popularity. Like we have a lot of application. We tend to work with like what we don't have. So the first stage is like, the vendor got to be prepared. They got to know what they're doing. They got to get the paperwork, or they have the understanding of what they're doing. Concept has to be unique and fresh, and somebody that really knows what they're speaking and has a little bit of a story behind that, you know. And then we make sure that we work with them as far as qualifying them, as far as like, you know, permits and certification and whatnot, you know. But we really, it's all about creating an authentic experience that is lush for our visitors. You know, we want people to come, and every time they have different flavors. Obviously, we're going to always have those bankers, always, you know, the one that, you know, that like, if you don't bring him to the event, people are going to get, you know, rallied up on you, you know. But then you change some of the other ones, you know, and you bring new concepts. When we brought to the Bronx the Filipino food in the beginning, people didn't like, what, Filipino food? Yo, now it's like the biggest like thing that's selling over there, you know, and vegan food, you know, introducing different vegan food with like either like Puerto Rican flair, Dominican flair, you know, or like, you know, traditional American, and people now, those are becoming like the most popular. So yeah, man, it is our events across the board. If you're a foodie and if you're a food lover, you just cannot miss those. You just cannot miss those. I'm saying that right now, everybody.
What other events are coming up that we should look forward to?
Well, I mean, the Bronx Night Market is returning on July 30th to Fordham Plaza. This one's particularly special for us because it highlights, you know, what we call the new Americans, the immigrants, you know, because July with the 4th of July month and all that, you know, so we want to celebrate an aspect of, you know, the Americans, Americans community that we represent, like me, like, you know, an immigrant into this country. So it's all about like vendors that represent like the new Americans, immigrants to this country. And we have 65 different food vendors and merch vendors. So it's going to be a fiesta, you know. Besides that, you know, we have, you know, obviously we have the Brooklyn Night Market coming back, but also big surprises in the future for MASC Hospitality Group. You know, little old us from the Bronx are really making waves out there in New York.
Give us a website where we can go to find out all about what you're doing.
Best thing to do is go to maschospitality.group.com, and over there you get all our events across the board, all our new brand, all our fun stuff. And there's also the RSVP link where people can win like a large screen TV on a monthly base. Bronx Night Market, obviously bronxnightmarket.com, at Bronx Night Market. Check us out. That account is not only awesome and beautiful, is informative. It's gonna get your taste bud, you know, just dancing around and just, you know, just follow us. The food over there is crazy.
Marco, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me again. I really appreciate you. You guys are awesome. You really are awesome.
Thank you. Marco Shalma, CEO, MASC Hospitality Group, and founder, Uptown Night Market. He's doing his thing. We're gonna make it go throughout the 5 boroughs, throughout the tri-state area, and you'll see it all over the U.S. soon. Hey. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. I want to thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. We appreciate you. We love you. And always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. Of the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.